see here. Oop, nope, shut your mouth, Velka. Does anyone else do that when they go to my channel? Because they have like, I have it like set. It's probably annoying because it's annoying to me anytime I go to my YouTube channel. And my like, I have like a video that will just like auto play, and every time I go to my channel, and that starts playing, I always say, it's like, oh nope, shut up, Velka. I'm not trying to hear you right now, honey. But let me see. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm like messing with. I kind of like that. Less lighting right now is the better. Well, girls, we're gonna live, right? It's the full moon. This looks like I'm being like lit by the full moon, darling, right? But howdy, full moon with a squeaky table, honey. But how are you guys doing? What's up? I told y'all I would be doing my full moon live stream. What's up, Mystic Wolf, Dolce, Chemos? How do I pronounce your name? Chemo Sabe. I hope I pronounce it properly. The glare of my glasses. Some point, y'all, it's completely like a side note. I gotta get like new glasses. No one cares. No one asked for it, but I gotta get new glasses because I'm realizing that these are like a little bit too old. They're like getting all wonky at this point now. But oh my gosh, y'all, it is the full moon in Aquarius. I feel like I've said this so many times. I feel as if this full moon is probably like the most intense for people. Probably for quite some time. I would say at the very least this year. I feel like this has been a very trying week for many people. Just from what I've heard, just what from people who've opened up to me. And yeah, Miss Tulip's trying to come over, but she can stay over there. Miss Tulip, she's trying to get into some trouble right now. I gave her a fresh can of tuna before I turned on this live stream, darling, and I guess she's just like ready to go now. She's ready to start a ruckus. Isn't that how all children are? You caught the laugh? Yes, you did, Sherry. How are you? Your real name is Jasmine, but you pronounced it correctly. Most trusted friend. Kimosabe. I'm going to keep calling you Kimosabe because you are my most trusted friend. I like that. Hello, Alicia, Pisces. You've been crying today. So much communication today. This full moon is ripping you a new one. Yeah, so yeah, I want to get into that a little bit. And I'm going to be doing some... Tulip found her spot now. You can't see it. Ooh. Oh. Oh, yes. Come on, girls. There we go. As I, like, knock everything over. I have it, like... My room set up very aesthetically pleasing in one singular corner, and that's about it. Y'all get this quarter, and anything else you're gonna be like, Hey, Shanna. Alicia, yeah, this full moon in Aquarius, I feel like is super trying for most people. I feel like many people are just like, well, here are like attributes for most full moons, and they're just like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would even argue like most people are like, even though I kind of feel like Mercury retrograde really isn't that much of an issue, I feel like this compares to like a Mercury retrograde for most people in the sense of where this is such a, because this is like a time of where it's just like emotions are just going to be high, putting relationships in your life in perspective, platonic and romantic, darling, could be in work life as well. It's because of this new perspective and kind of like forcing conversation, a lot of people are having to come to terms with like how certain situations are going to be, and sometimes that gets your feelings hurt, right? So it's just like super rough time for many people, so I feel bad for y'all, but we're getting through it. Hey honey, hey Claudine. I can't go without my glasses, y'all. I'm blind as a bat without them, but I also want to be able to just like give eye contact to you guys, right? I know that's probably weird, but it's like I like eye contact, even though that we're talking through a little screen. To me, I'm still like looking directly at you guys, right? I always say like I am like a child of the internet, so it's like I've spent more time bonding with friends online than I ever do in real life. So it's like, to me, this is like completely normal. It's like, yes, I'm talking to you. So for whenever I have like this glare blocking my vision with my scratched up broken glasses, it bothers me. You're fighting nasty custody case. Ooh. No, wear your glasses, don't harm. See, that's the thing. I think that's just like a, you know, that shows the Libra in me, right? It's just very much so, I like an aesthetic, right? And so partially having my glare bothers me. Love how much I've grown up. Hey, Claudine, I remember you. How have you been, Claudine? Yeah, like it's been such, it's really, I think about this time last year, and because I have like notes, I stopped, honey, my cards just go everywhere. I stopped recording it after I hit 1,000, but after, like during this time, I would like put a benchmark for each 100 that I hit for my YouTube. And so it was like this time around this year, I was like at 500 subs or something like that, not even. And it's just so crazy to think about. It's so interesting to think about how much has changed, right, from just a year. And just because like I post so much on here, it's like there's like there's not really a single day that I'm not connecting with you guys on some point. Like every single day I'm recording, because I would like to be ahead in my work. Admittedly, I still have to do the air signs, darling, for this week, but you guys like catch me in real time every single day, so it's like, you know, everything that I do, you guys get to kind of just like see it in display. You love my, and I appreciate that. That's like my favorite compliment. Let me know if anyone else is that way, of where it's like when someone like compliments, like, you know, looks are like one thing, you know, if they just like, oh, I love your eyes, whatever, right? Not whatever, but it's like, it's a nice compliment. But when you get like those super personal comments about, you know, just like your energy or just like how they just enjoy being around you, those are like the best compliments, I feel. Yeah, I'm telling you, these glasses about to come off right now. Um, I'm an air sun. Yeah, so my I am a Libra Scorpio cusp technically. And then my ascendant is Cancer. I think my moon is Virgo. My moon's Virgo, I believe. I need to get like my actual like birth time, just so I can like double check. That's, I have to go to like the hospital and get the like long form of my birth certificate. At some point, wouldn't it be fabulous, you guys, if I got to be friends with like a fellow YouTuber who's like an astrologer who does birth charts or something, and then we could just do like a little collab of just like reading the birth chart? Because I know some people are like super personal and super oh, by the way, I'm gonna be playing some Tom Fox. Yeah, Tom Fox. His music's always lovely. I always have all of his links to his stuff in my description. He did the music for my channel and everything. He's super cool dude. Sadly, we didn't get to finish doing anything with the music, but yeah, he's all the music that I play on my channel. Super cool dude, kind of a local to me. That's my thing. I always like to where was I though? I don't remember what I was talking about, so I guess it wasn't important. Oh yeah, so yeah, wouldn't it be like fabulous if I got to be friends with like an astrologer, do like a birth chart? Because I know some people are like sensitive and being like private about like sharing all their full details in their birth chart, but I mean, I'm just like, girl, I don't care. You can, y'all like, well, I don't got nothing to hide, honey. Like, y'all know how many times I've cried on the internet at this point. I have no shame. Hey, Through the Dead, how are you doing? Hey Mav, I'm doing good tonight. I'm doing really good. I had such a fabulous day yesterday, unexpectedly. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. Yeah, I had such a fabulous day yesterday, and it was just so nice. I got my nails done as well, because I didn't, my last set of nails, they're always my natural nails, but like the last colors I did, it was chrome and black, matte black. I didn't really care for it, to be honest. So I wanted to like change them up. And so now we went back to something like this, So I like it. How do y'all feel about it, right? It's kind of, that's really for y'all. I never did my nails before I did tarot readings, because like I like to have like a black chipped, like, ooh, I'm grunge, I'm edgy nail polish. But I acknowledge that I can't be like holding up some tarot cards, showing y'all some tarot cards, looking like I gave a hand job to a chainsaw with my chipped black nail polish, right? So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just step it up for some of y'all. Let me just, you know. Oh yeah, Through the Dead. I was like, I have the intention on, I like always thought about this. I never like go out of my way to do it. But I was thinking just before I turned on the live stream, there's some people I wanted to make mods on my channel for when I live stream. You don't have to feel pressured into doing it whatsoever through the den, but I just want to let you know the options there if you want to be a moderator. But I didn't want to just like throw it on to you if you weren't down for it, you know. So I wanted to just like see how you felt about it. You don't have to do anything. I just want to clarify with it. Love my energy tonight. Thank you, Claudine. I genuinely, honestly, can we be transparent? That's the whole purpose of this channel, right? Well, hold up, darling. First, Tulip needs to say hello. She needs to pay her rent. You know, that's the whole purpose of her being here. So, before we continue this, Miss Tulip trying to say hi now. I say she's trying to say hi as if y'all didn't just watch me like pull her from where she was chilling, where she was vibing. Quick little hello from Miss Tulip. She's content now. She got the most expensive can of just tuna ever. And now her belly's full, and now she's vibing out for this full moon soothing. But yeah, I am feeling so much better. The past couple of weeks, it's been a little bit rough for me with a lot of things, but yeah, it's been a little bit rough, and I'm just now finally like, I don't know, I feel pretty good. I don't know if it's just like, but I always say this. I always say that whenever I turn on the live stream, I need to do them a lot more often, but I always feel self-conscious about doing them more. But I always feel like a million times better when I start talking to you guys. She looks like an Oreo. Yeah, she does. I always say everything in my life is black and white. I'm black and white, darling. I have like a whole black and white outfit. I'll have to like wear that for a video sometime. I have like a black and white. It's like one side is like all like a light denim. I guess it's not black and white. It's like a light denim, and then the other side, my other jacket, my jacket, pants, all this is one side's black, one side's all blue light denim. But yeah, it's just like whenever I take a picture of Tulip, I'm just like with family, darling. It's just nothing but black and white, darling. The full moon is kicking your butt, Jennifer. I am so sorry. So you guys, let me actually. I'm inspiring you to do a candle spell through the den. You should. Everyone should do a candle spell. Truly. Everyone should do a candle spell. And I wish I had... Oh, the notebook's over there. So, I wanted to do a little special something for everyone that's going to be hanging out here tonight. And I wanted to take down names for anyone that wanted to be included in my own full moon ritual. I already do it for channel memberships, for people who are of that rank of channel memberships. So through the den is going to be part of that. But yeah, maybe at some point I'll like take down names for people. I don't have my notebook. It's down below. Anyways, I wanted to do like a little bit of a general message for people real quick. Maybe I don't want to get too into just doing tarot cards because I still am trying to vibe out, you guys. You know, this is a full moon. Let's talk. I also... I'm off, honey, y'all know I'm off the wall now. I also just like have I wanted to do like, I guess a little bit of a show and tell. Oh wait, hold up. I don't know if y'all can hear the music right now, but this is like one of my favorite songs Tom has ever done. It's called River. Wait. It's not even playing the song that I thought it was. I make a whole big deal about it. It's like, ooh, it's my favorite song that's playing. Now I have to play it. Now I have to find it for y'all. But yeah, Tom Fox did this one song. It's called River, and I just think it's so good. So good. But yeah, I wanted to just like have this live stream. I wanted to show some of the crystals I'm going to be... Ooh, that's loud. I wanted to show some of the crystals that I'm going to be using tonight. No, darling. No, darling. For the full moon... And yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about some spiritual stuff, some spooky stuff, right? Is anyone going to be doing anything for the full moon as well, ritual-wise? If they need any help or ideas as well? Or if they would just like to have my insight for something as well when it comes to I can't find it, so... Oh well, I can't find it. So, yeah. let's see here. Actually, darlings. Hello, Michelle. Hello from Florida. That's where I was born, Michelle, was Florida. I used to live in Ocala, Florida. But I was born in a hospital in Orlando. And so, yeah. Your favorite colors? You've never done a ritual, Alicia? All right. So, I gotta organize my thoughts. I gotta get everything. You would love to be on. Okay, good. I'll give that to you. Let's see here. But yeah, I want to do just like a quick little of a general message first. If you can find the motivation to roll over and light some candles on your altar, then yes. I feel that. Honestly, Jennifer, I'm so glad you said that, because I feel like not enough, you can see my laptop in the corner. I feel like not enough people like talk about it, of where it's like someday, like, you hear nothing but just like how like actively like spiritual practicing, occult practicing people talking about rituals and all this just like over the top stuff. But it's just like, honey, more often than not, you always have to find like the motivation first of all to do it, because it's a lot of work. But sometimes it just can't be done. Sometimes it's okay to just let some moon cycles go by and not do anything, right? Because in my opinion, if your heart's not into the ritual itself and you're just doing it as a routine, then it's not going to be nearly as potent. I'm going to be taking them off so I can actually look at y'all. It'll just motivate me to like get out of the way and buy some glasses, even though they're so expensive, darling. But yeah, like, if I feel as if when it comes to like any type of ritual, right? The word ritual already just sounds a little bit ominous or spooky or taboo to most people, but in essence, doing a ritual is quite literally just setting the intent on something, you know? If you were to go and subscribe to the thought process that everything is energy, your thoughts are energy, everything's just energy, then that's quite literally all a ritual is where you're creating a landing zone, not a landing zone, an anchor for like a bunch of energy, harvesting a bunch of energy using different ingredients that will amplify, set the intent on certain energy, and then you are just putting it out there, right? So if your heart's not into the ritual itself and you're just doing it as a routine, you know, you're probably not even doing nearly the amount that you could have if your heart was into it. So in my opinion, it's better just to only do rituals when your heart is invested into it, because that's what's going to make a successful ritual. You know, so many people will just like um, completely like a side tangent, but it's like, it'll bother me when people will pay like thousands of dollars or hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to pay like for someone to do a ritual for them. And you know, while like obviously people should get paid for the work that they do, I think on some level I feel like, again, there needs to be understanding that everyone can do it as well. Just because someone has like a platform, this is going into a whole side tangent that no one asked for, but I even get emails about it as well. People like genuinely will be offering me like a ridiculous amount of money just um for like a ritual, or just like even just for like insight. And you know, why I'm always like, honey, I'm not gonna be lying, that money is just like, that looks real good, right? But at the same time, I can't accept it, just because it's like, I don't, for you to be offering such an exorbitant amount of money for like a full moon ritual, that shows to me that you're putting me or anyone on a much higher pedestal, when, you know, like, truly, like, the best rituals that are going to give you success in your life are the ones that you do yourself, because you know your energy best. I can do the same exact ritual for you that I would do for myself, you know, and doesn't mean I need to charge like $500 for it either. But you know, I guess that goes into a whole different conversation. But that's always been like my thing. I never really like talking. I enjoy talking about the occult stuff, but I always get in trouble, or like people always just create drama about try to like argue with me, or like make my opinions like their own personal thing, because it's like, I don't like being put on a pedestal, and I don't think anyone should be put on a pedestal. And so a lot of like occult practices is just very egocentric, and that's just not what I'm about. You're going to fall asleep. It's okay. You can get some sleep, Alicia. full moons make you tired, I feel that as well. Honestly, full moons are just like a time of where it's best to really just listen to what makes you the most at peace, because you know the best way to utilize this full moon energy, or any energy for that matter, is maintaining a nice mindset, right? And so if you relaxing, you sleeping is going to help you keep at that a much higher vibration. You know, your natural thoughts, everything's going to just, you know, be amplified by that. So that's why self-care is important. That's why self-love is important, darling. You've been journaling? Okay, yeah. So Kimo Sabe says she's been journaling her insights, or the things that she would like to manifest. I want to talk about this real quick as well, because journaling is such a, again, it's like setting the intent for something, you know, even when, I feel as if people feel like the need to like complicate it, or feel as if like when people have like grimoires or something like that, right? That's like essentially just a fancy word for someone writing, like jotting down their gnosis, right? Their experiences, which is fabulous, right? But it's because of like, especially just in spiritual stuff in general, people will use like a lot of fluffy words that you feel like you need to pull out of the source just to like decipher. And so when you see all these big, like complicated words, I feel like it gives the impression that it's just like, oh, it must be like so much more intense, darling, right? Y'all must be like doing some type of witchcraft during this journaling session, right? And it's just like, no, quite literally, again, for you to be jotting, like all you're doing is setting the intention. What I would suggest for anybody, keep in mind this is going to be my own gnosis, my own personal bias, just because again the basis of my spiritual beliefs and practices all come from astral projecting, and then from astral projecting going into deity work, right? Connecting to different deities, connecting to different just spiritual beings in general. And so I always feel as if whatever it is that you do, it's important to include some type of spiritual force that's outside of yourself, and have it involved, to have it help maneuver those energies, right? And so for anyone, right, it doesn't matter who it is, what your practices are, right? If you align with, you know, the left-handed path, for example, if you're trying to manifest money, depending on what exactly it is you're trying to manifest, if you're trying to do like a, you know, like, because this is the thing, people, you know, this is like the details, right, for how you want to just add layers to it. So if you're trying to build like a business, right, you wouldn't normally work with a demon who is, or rather it'd be better to work with a deity rather, who would be that like gives that type of structure, right? So if you're trying to build a business, then Mammon would be a wonderful option, right? In terms of, you know, like with love, then you would work with someone like Rossier. Or even if you're in the involved with left-handed path stuff, because you can do ritual work outside of doing left-handed path occult stuff, right? You can connect to different angels as well, because different angels represent different things. And so I always just suggest, even when you're journaling, to find a deity, find something that resonates with you, even if it's your own spirit guide, and including their sigil as part of that process. Something I always like to suggest to people as well, if you are like using incense, using the incense ash after the fact in your spell work as well, especially for journaling. Maybe I could do a video even on how you can like incorporate your incense ash just to make all that much more of an impactful ritual. But yeah, that's something I just want to suggest to everybody, is like, regardless of your belief systems, whatever it is you subscribe to, always try to find something that's outside of yourself, that aligns with your beliefs, to help just give that insight, right? Because that's the whole purpose for me when it comes to connecting to deities and just, you know, just beings in general, is I'm always trying to seek enlightenment. Well, not enlightenment. I guess I am trying to seek enlightenment, but it's just, I always feel as if I treat it like a mentorship. I'm trying to learn from them and just getting different insight. And so, yeah, I feel as if Long answer, right? Long story short, just find a deity or spirit that you can connect with. And if you don't know their sigil, you can just meditate on them, and by connecting to their energy through meditation, and then free drawing their sigil as well, and allowing their influence to inspire a sigil made for you, because that's quite literally what a sigil is like, it doesn't matter who it is, again, right? I can draw a sigil, and so you can draw a sigil as well, both of the same deity, but it's all there just you're setting the intent on just connecting to whatever it is you're trying to connect to, right? I feel like at this point, if we're going to be talking about spiritual stuff, darling, I need to either be having a crystal in my hands, darling, or something, right? At this point, honey, I should just be putting on a hat as well. Talking about all the spooky stuff. I need to be looking the part. Let's see here. What hat we want to use, y'all. And they're all covered in cat hair because Tulip likes to be covering herself in it as well, because she swears she's a witch as well. We'll do the black one. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Come on now. I probably look so ridiculous, but usually I will, like, there we go. You know what? There we go. We're looking cute now. Would love to see the video. Yeah, I will definitely do that for sure, because I want to like lean a lot more into occult stuff, just to give my own guidance on it. I know, like, I've gotten questions from some people who have known me for quite some time online, and people have noticed that I kind of like pulled back from talking about experiences, and just my practices in general. And it's just like, yeah, like before, it just has never been like a very pleasant experience for me to share my stuff, because back when I was in occults, darling, you know what, that's what we'll get into in this video, in this live stream, darling. This will just be, I won't even bring it up in the, no, I guess maybe we'll put it in the title just because, but you know, I always say I'm gonna do like a dedicated video talking about me being an occult, but I'll give like some like juicy details, something for y'all to look forward to whenever I actually do sit down and talk about that time when I was in occult. But yeah, like during my time when I was in occult, anytime I started talking about my stuff, I just was met with people trying to disempower me and just whatever, you know. And just even after that, there's just always somebody that's trying to find something to like make it about themselves and be triggered by, and it's always just not an enjoyable process. So it's like, I would just like, you know what, if me talking about my experiences is gonna like offend somebody and like make someone feel like or like threatened by their own existence, then let me just pull back, darling. You know, no one's asking for the content, so I don't need to piss more people off, right? You've been drawn to amethyst and spirit amethyst this week? Yes, I will definitely do a video on the ash. That will be like a quick one, because there's two ways you can use like incense ash, and it's such a waste when people, but I know like most people would just think about just like blowing the incense ash away, but you can actually like very easily like make black salt, and yeah, like making a black salt and mixing it with like different herbs to utilize for different rituals, right? So you can, you know, it's a whole video, right? There's like so many like small, like, again, I don't talk about my stuff, and I don't like but it's like there's just so many like things that most people don't think about, that I feel, if I'm just gonna like pop my, you know, toot my own horn, I feel like that's what really separates, and what gives me results in the stuff that I do, is because of like the very like small things, because I see it like a puzzle. Again, I see everything like a puzzle, and I guess more so this is kind of like glaring, right? So it's like seeing everything and just picking it apart in a very analytical way, and you know, I feel like, and just, yeah, y'all get the point, right? Enough of my rambling with that. I don't need to talk too much more on that, I don't think. I probably just sound like a prick now, just being like, oh, yeah, what separates me from the crowd is because I use my incense ash for something. It's like, who am I? Calm down, Velka. But that is truly how I feel. I feel like people just don't think about doing like the small things that will really make the difference. for it. They'll do like the flashy stuff, you know. It's always nice to just like use your blood in a ritual, darling. That always just makes everything sound fabulous. But you know, that's like the flashy stuff. It doesn't sound nearly as interesting when I talk about using like painting some like a deity sigil with dragon's blood incense, right? Just doesn't sound nearly as fascinating. It doesn't sound aesthetic, right? You enjoy the rambling. I appreciate it. I need to honestly get out of my head about not talking, about like talking about things, because now that I've been doing tarot videos so much, just get this self-consciousness of being like, oh, I always need to be providing a service, no, rather than just rambling. But you know what? Let me get a drink of water, darling. Well, actually, this is like a soda, but I want to talk a little bit, as I promised, about the cult. You know what? I want to even change the title to that for anyone that's like, hold up, darlings. Let's do that. By the way, is the music too loud for people? I can't check really right now because I don't want to like blow y'all's ears out with the double sound coming through. But yeah, so I always say I was in a cult, and I feel as if people have like a certain vision on what a cult actually is. And people imagine like the cults in like you know, I forget the name of it now, like the most famous cult where everyone like drank the Kool-Aid and killed themselves, darling, right? They view cults in that very intense way, and a lot of them are definitely intense, but especially with the day of the internet, cults are just so much easier to cultivate at this point. When I was young and dumb, darling. I was in high school, and back then, I still had the view that everyone was just talking about spiritual stuff, and just wanted to like connect. And that was always my approach. It's just like, oh yeah, we're all on this spiritual path. We all see things how this way. Let's all just like vibe out. Let's all just like, we're sharing information. And so I ran into this individual. She was on YouTube. She's not on YouTube anymore. I'm not going to talk too much in detail because reasons. And she was the one that talked about spiritual stuff. And then she had like a Facebook page at the time. And this is still when Facebook was poppin', darling. Like, I don't think really, yeah, there was it was like when Facebook just took over like MySpace, basically. And y'all can tell I can't multitask. Just throw it in there at the end, talking about when I was in a cult, right? All right, music is good. Okay, good. So yeah, she had a Facebook group, and this is the thing, like there's just different types of cults. I feel like people will think like cults are all just about like humans like doing like some weird stuff, when it's not really the case. It's usually just about like one singular person that everyone will just like prophesize. Now, some people take it to like the umpteenth degree, right, and say that they are the second coming, that they are the Antichrist or whatever, right? We always hear about that, and when in actuality, yeah, it's just like there's always just like a figurehead who knows all the answers, and everyone just goes to them. And this is quite literally like the reason as to why I am just so anti like putting people on pedestals, was because of my experience in the cult. I've gotten to see like the behind the curtains view on a lot of spiritual communities and just the people, and I realized that like it just puts such a perspective for me. I'm just being like, wow, everyone's just putting on a show. You know, no one truly has all these answers. Everyone's just like using this as like a coping mechanism, right? The person running the cult was running most cults. You know, there's usually some type of sole purpose, but a lot of them just want to be idolized, right? A lot of them just, you know, for whatever the reasons are, right? I'm not trying to psychoanalyze or anything, but a lot of people who want to just be looked up and be put on this pedestal, they're either trying to make money off of you, right? Which is what my cult leader, my ex-cult leader, I should put that on like my Tinder, put as my like resume as like a past reference, right? Like my ex-cult leader, she was more so like money oriented. And that way, some people, you know, there's just multiple reasons. And so getting sidetracked. And so when I joined this Facebook group, it's just like this weird dynamic, extremely weird, of just like, while it wasn't like outright a cult, because I wasn't aware I was in a cult until after the fact. I'm gonna start doing some cards as well. Um, First getting in there, and I was like, what, like 14, 15 at the time, probably like 15. I got to meet a lot of interesting individuals, right? I got to meet a lot of interesting individuals, but it was during that time as well. Like, I want to put this in perspective. During like the peak time when I was like really involved in the group, I would like everywhere I went, I would have like a video call going with people, and that's how all of us were. We all like would literally exist in like video chat. Like it was Google Hangout. I think, yeah, I said it in like my Lilith video. It's like in Google Hangouts. I think there's still a thing now, but that's usually literally like for several years of my life. That's my life was just like on like video camera with all these other people from around the world. A lot of them actually in Texas. Um, I actually had my first time doing acid with someone who I was close with back in that time. Um, but yeah, it was literally like all of us just on camera. That was like my life, and it was so like literally even walking the stage in high school, it was documented, and like I would like they watch like there's people from all around the world that watch me walk, and they were not all bad people. That was the thing. Like the core group of people that I hung around, not like we really weren't bad, right? I kind of just like I knew from that point on. Like I knew people were eccentric, and anytime I started talking about like my own spiritual stuff, like with reading tarot cards, right? Everyone would like play me down and kind of just like attack me whenever I would do like my own stuff, because people don't like seeing you empowered. Like that's the thing. That's like you can always like see so clearly people who are like insecure and not truly like spiritual when by their actions, by what it is you're doing, because it's like every single time I was doing something, and back then because I didn't see in that perspective, and I was just like, oh yeah, they're just for my best interest, right? Anything I did, they would play it down. They would make me feel crazy, make me feel crazy. These crazy people making me feel crazy, and all of that, right? So I knew like, I didn't take it personal, but I knew then that I needed to always just lay low. And that's always been my approach ever since, is like, I will always suggest to everybody, spiritual practicing or not, it's better for people to just think you don't know anything, because that's when people are going to be open with you. And that's when people are going to actually talk about things, right? If they assume you know everything, then they're not going to be as open to sharing, or they're going to be a little bit more protective with their stuff because they're so afraid of being judged. Whereas like if they think that you're just new to it all, then either they're just going to share their information, or in the case when I was in that cult, people would just be like, oh, we'll just like influence him and teach him my ways, right? So that way he like they try to take that advantage in that way. But admittedly, that's how I learned the most. That was because, like, again, I got to meet so many people from different walks of life, and so many different paths. There were just, again, I'm trying to avoid too much detail just because I know, like, I know that some of them are watching, and I'm not trying to engage with that too much. But, yeah, it was during that time, literally everything just documented, and it was so interesting though, because I remember one time there's like a Google Hangout, and the people, if this is a video that kind of took off, and like the people that like some people may even know who this person is if they recognize this video title, because it did go around a little bit. But there's a video where they were on a Google Hangout, and the woman, the cult leader, was doing like a group session, and one of them was them saying that they were like remote viewing, which is literally just like the concept is where it's like just seeing in their brain. Their practice, right? But they were remote viewing, and what they thought, they set up this place because the cult leader said, she swore, she's like, oh, I saw like this alien base on the moon, we need to explode it, we need to do something, right? And she was very, very like insistent on this. I mean, like they're holding gray aliens there. I was visited by a gray you know, like this whole thing, darling. And at this point, with like, I remember because she did like a whole Facebook post and everything, honey, a whole thing. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, at this point, this is when I started squinting, and it was shortly after high school. And I was just like, baby girl, what you mean? And because like literally she's just like, we need to have as many people as possible in a Google Hangout, and we're going to remote view to the moon, and we're going to explode the space base there. And I was just like, oh, okay. Hey Athena, how are you doing? Hey Kimberly. I'm just talking about my time in the cult, honey. You know, the usual, darling. And yeah, so she was just like telling people, it's just like, we need to just remote view. Very much so, like, from anyone that knows SpongeBob, darling. Obviously, I love me some SpongeBob. I mean, hello. It's kind of like that one meme of where it's like, Patrick is just like, why don't we take the town and just like move it over here? It was very that. And so, like, that was like the moment when I was just like, that's when I started squinting. That's when I started just like, wait a minute, something's not, something's up here, darling. And so whenever they did that, then it just started like this whole thing, darling, of where then she was like saying like, oh, there are alien implants in people in your aura, and talking about how like your chakras are bad for you, telling people how like chakras are just there to control you and keep you in this physical realm, and if you remove your chakras then just whatever, and how everyone just, yeah, just everyone has like thousands of alien implants in their aura, darling. Don't ask me how they got there, but she just whatever. And so this is when this is when it clicked in my brain. I'm just like, oh, you trying to scam people now, darling. Because at this point, because like whenever she did this, because I was like, okay, like I mean, if you think like, you know, again, like this is the thing I always want to say. It's just like everyone has like their own personal like experiences, just as if like I have my very core reasons as to like the practices that I have, right? They're very real to me. You know, I truly feel that way for everybody, because it's very, you have to be very careful about being dismissive of other people's paths just because they don't make sense to you, because you have to put it in perspective, just being like, well, your stuff makes no sense to other people as well. And so it's like, give people the benefit of the doubt. And so, you know, I gave the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe she genuinely sees this, right? Who am I to disprove this, right? Maybe she's onto something, right? But this is when she started saying, like, removing your chakras, and then saying about, of course, darling, she could do it for an easy price of, like, I wish I could remember the exact price, y'all. And I know I'm not exaggerating by this at all, because I'm pretty sure it's even higher. But, like, she was charging, like, I think it was, like, $2,000 to remove alien implants, and that everyone apparently has thousands of. And I was just like, something don't taste right in this Kool-Aid. Like, hold up now. Like, something smells fishy here, and it's not these alien implants, I don't think, darling. And so, at that point, darling, that's when I was, like, I started asking questions, right? I started asking questions, and this is, like, the thing I suggest to everybody to do as well, right? I don't like to get into conversations about, like, again, who is more woke or, like, spiritually valid than other people, because, again, that's such a weird concept to have, to like say, it's like to just randomly decide who gets to have more spiritual authority than another person. It's just like, girl, calm down. Like, calm down, girl. Like, unless you're able to just like quite literally create like something out of thin air, accept the fact that you're no special than anybody else, you know? But I started asking questions, and this is something I tell everyone that they should do, right? You know, because again, when it comes to spiritual stuff, when it comes to occult stuff, people will use a lot of fluffy words. People will literally go to like a thesaurus and be like, okay, like how many, like, what can I, like, how many big words can I use to talk about the same thing and use different sentences and use different wordings, but use big words each time and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about, but it actually has no substance, right? You can use all these grandiose words, but, you know, it's just, you know, let's get to ask the questions and being like, well, like, if I'm paying $2,000 for this alien implant removal, what does that look like, right? Like, what is your process, right? Because you're like, in people who are actually doing their practice, well, yes, there's going to be some private stuff, but if you were to ask me about any type of ritual that I'm doing, I can easily break it down. And especially, and I feel as if you're going to be charging that much, darling, you can start asking questions. And if you pay attention to the answers, you'll quite literally see and make the connection whenever they can't quite explain it, or it's just like you can quite literally see how the dots are just not connecting, because then it's just like, well, you know, you can't just have like a thesaurus to respond with. So it's just like, yeah, you know, a bunch of people that removed your chakras, you just don't feel the need. So yeah, that's the thing, Jennifer, is one of those things of where if someone feels truly inclined, like, I feel like removing chakras, that's going to be just like a completely like personal thing, right? It's going to be a completely personal thing. So I just find it to be like, I don't know, I just find it weird to just like glorify or just like push for people to just like remove things, especially when it's not like, you know, because here's my thought process on it. You know, well, yes, even if we were going to argue, like I always say, everything when it comes to spiritual stuff is just someone's perception, someone's perspective on translating energies. But it's like you take the writings of like what the chakras actually do for you and like at least what they are supposed to represent. And my thought process is like, why would you want to remove that? You know, like, why are we all of a sudden villainizing it and then telling other people just to remove it and say it's bad for you, right? And so that's always just my thing. And again, that just goes back to my thing. It's just like questions. Always ask questions, darling. Always ask questions. So that was what I was doing when it came to the alien implants. I wanted to understand her process. You know, she was just like, oh, I get rid of these alien implants. I'm just like, well, what do you mean by getting rid of them, right? How do they even get there in the first place? How did you even discover this, right? There should be a rhyme and reason for why it is a practitioner is doing what it is that they're doing, because again, as I always say, you're setting the intent for things. So there should be a process to this. And again, if you're going to be charging thousands of dollars for a practice and you're not going to tell other people how to do it themselves, then I don't know, right? It's one of those things, I guess everyone's gonna have like their own opinion on, and some people may feel comfortable or just prefer that, right? To prefer just giving their money away in that way and be like, you know what, you do it. And I understand it entirely. Like, that's the thing. But I, at the very least, like, that's my thing. It's just like, I don't feel comfortable when someone like emails me. It's just like, oh, Velka, like, can you please do like this ritual for me and I'll pay you like $500? Because I'm just like, well, girl, like, like, now are you just wanting to give me $500 just because, or are you trying to give me this $500 because you feel like giving me an exorbitant amount of money is going to make this ritual even more powerful somehow, right? Because that's the thing. It's just like, as long as we're at the same understanding that like I'm no better than you are. Like, we're all the same. Quite literally all the same. Like, your favorite spiritualist, your favorite spiritual guru, like, we're all the same. It doesn't matter if they have, like, 500,000 followers or if they have 5 followers. Like, we're all quite literally the same, right? So it's just like, as long as you're we're at this understanding and you still want to give me that $500 for a ritual that you can do yourself, it's fine. Like, I understand that. But that's just what irks me. It's just like, because of like that's quite literally why I'm just so like, I always like to drill it in whenever I talk about anything occult related, because it's like, I just think like after watching the behavior, I just think it's just so disgusting to like, I don't know, it just like irks me in a way when I see like, I can't stand it. It's my number one pet peeve when people try to just act super duper special about it. I'm just like, girl, calm down. Like, girl, calm down. Like, you don't need to be acting this way. Just be normal. Like, don't be trying to act as if you're some kind of woke person, because trust and believe, when you turn off that camera, I know, like, you're just being just as normal. You're just like the same, like, you're just as shy as everybody else. You have just the same insecurities as everybody else. You're just really good at hiding it, right? You would rather just be known as a person that has no insecurities, has no flaws, has no whatever, right? Because then it feeds into that whole image of being like, oh, look, follow what I do, and then you can be as grand as me. And it's just like such an unrealistic standard. That's what bothers me the most. It just sets up such an unrealistic standard, and it makes people just not be as interested or even shy away from spiritual practices, because it's like they will, like, people from the outside will just see this and be like, well, girl, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you're a god, right? What do you mean? Like, when people will see stuff like being like, oh, like, you can become a god, like, and how, like, you can open, like, the gateway and just have, like, demons flood into this world and cause chaos. And I'm just like, girl, come on now. Like, come on now. Like, you can't be taking yourself that seriously as well, you know? Like, there's no way. I don't know. Obviously, that's my own perspective, and maybe I'm just being overtly critical, darling. I'm just being a little bit too sassy. My bad, though. You hear people talk about the implants as well, Jennifer? Yeah, that's the thing. I always say, like, especially when it comes to implants, like, when people are saying that they see, like, a blockage in you, or, like, there's, like, implants is really, like, the thing. It's just, like, that's when I always want to ask the questions, being like, well, how are you finding these implants? Because it's just, like, are you just saying that, like, because quite literally, it's just, like, oh, you just decided that these implants exist, and now you're charging an exorbitant amount of money to remove them. That, up until this point, no one, like, up until that point that you made that discovery, then everyone has it. And, you know, like, there should at least be some rhyme and reason, right? But maybe that's just, like, my own thing. Like, I always just want to, like, I'm probably just getting on such a tangent, right? You finally made it to it alive, Ashley. Yes, you did. You're drinking wine. Ooh, what kind of wine are you drinking, Ashley? My favorite is a red wine. I I made wine a couple years ago, and it was lovely. So, y'all noticed I'm shuffling cards. So I'm going to be doing, like, a general message for everybody as well. Hey, Dion, how are you doing, Dion? Dion is, like, an OG to my channel. Dion has been with me and vibing with me for a very long time. Y'all, let me not. But yes, happy full moon in Aquarius, everybody. Let me know, now that we have a bunch more people in here. One, if you'd like, I would appreciate it if y'all gave a like to this video. You don't have to, though, but, you know, it would just warm my little heart if I felt your thumb. But yeah, let me know what y'all are doing for your full moon, if you're doing anything for the full moon. And let me know what you ate, if you ate anything, darling. And yeah, I also just want to give a reminder to people, if you would like to be included into my full moon, I always do both new moon and full moon rituals, and if you would like to be part of that, I have my channel memberships for that. But yeah, let's get into, like, I want to do, like, a general message for you as well. But yeah, I have to just get into a whole, because this is the thing, I would get in, like, my story, like, there's one, I'm just a bad storyteller, like, talking about past experiences. I don't know why. I'm very long-winded, and that makes me a bad storyteller. But when it comes to my time in the cult, because there's just so many layers to it, as well as just, like, so many small details that just, like, I don't know. It all adds up. I have to do, like, a full, like, it would be, like, a full, like, little series of a video. But it's truly, like, so much of what happened in the cult has really shaped my approach to doing things now. I really got to watch how it was kind of like, it was like a way of, once I became aware of how everything was, it was kind of like watching, like, a social experiment at that point. Because again, I knew to lay low, like, right? I was always just, like, the person, like, this is the thing, and I'm completely comfortable with it, is, like, everyone, I never will, when it comes to other practitioners, I will never get the, like, it is very apparent that I don't get that respect, but I'm okay with it, right? And because I always just ask those questions. So when everything started going down, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, just still asking questions, like, trying to understand people's perspectives. And then once I was starting to become aware of the fact that it was a cult, darling, whew, let me get this general message out here first, and then I'll get into that detail. I'm doing good, Dion. Glass of Chardonnay, nice. Pink Moscato, nice. I just broke a fast as well recently. Actually, yesterday, Dose. Nice. How are you doing, Dose, by the way? You're doing laundry right now. Does anyone recommend anything for cleansing from Therese? Therese is how I pronounce your name? So, ooh, tequila. Come on, honey. You're on keto. Chakras seem to be a scapegoat for things in people's lives. Yeah, that's the thing. People always like to have something to like blame, right? Being like, oh, I'm not receiving messages. It must be because I'm feeling spiritually blocked, or like my chakras are blocked, or it's just like, oh, it's the fault. Like something's haunting me. It can't just be about, they'll like to put the blame on something else, right? Because just the idea of just like stomaching that you may be doing something wrong. You may be the problem, honey, right? Might be too much for many people, right? A lot of people don't like looking in the mirror. The sacrament about drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah, you seen it? Okay, yeah, you know where. Therese. Oh, the H is silent. Therese. All right, Therese. So I am a huge fan of Palo Santo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sure someone will correct me if they think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'm still gonna just say Palo Santo because you all know what I'm talking about. Palo Santo is something I recommend to everybody. Palo Santo is something that I always actively use. Sage is something I kind of just don't use too often, just because I don't know. I feel as if Palo Santo is just a nice. I feel like it just brings things back into like a point of like zero, right? And it's not like you're not removing all the energy. You're just getting it. You're bringing it back to equilibrium, and that's always what I'm trying to search for. Ooh, darlings. So, I also want to show. Are y'all okay with me doing a little bit of show and tell? Can I show some of my crystals to you guys? So, I don't really have like I have a nice collection of crystals. I've like collected crystals. It's over here and I don't feel like going to get it. But I actually have my oldest crystal, my very first crystal. Should I go get it? No, I'll just show it a different live stream. But I have my very first crystal from, I want to say, oh my gosh, it must have been like 18 years ago, around like 18, 17 years ago. I still have the same exact crystal that I got when I went one summer to all the national parks in the US, or we did like a road trip and did like the majority of the national parks inland in the US. And I got that crystal. It was a quartz crystal. It's so gorgeous. I mean, it's still gorgeous to me. But it's like I have so many memories of like washing that crystal. Like when I was a little kid, like I remember putting like, it just brings back so many memories. And it's like the oldest thing that I have is that crystal. It's so precious to me because it's just like anytime I hold it, it's just like, because crystals like can store things, right? And so like store memories, and so it's, or energy at least, not memories, I suppose, I guess, depending on what you believe in, right? So it's, I almost imagined like that stone just like holding like all the memories, darling, all childhood, all the way. You burn lavender. Lavender is one of my favorite stones. Okay, yeah, you want to do show and tell? So I think I've shown this crystal a few times before. Well, I don't know where the other part of it is. Darlings. Am I just crazy? Y'all can't even see what I'm talking about, but did I not? No, I did move it. Tulip, did you do something? I think Tulip moved it, darlings. Oh no, it's here. Alright, I found it. Dollar Tree has some of those incense holders. Alright. So some of y'all probably have seen this before. Definitely need to wash it. But I got this off of eBay. So it's agate as well as just quartz crystal. So I need to wash it, so I'm gonna be holding it far back here. Because anytime I use this crystal, I will put moon water in it. Well, not just moon water, but put some type of liquid in it. That sounds sus. Basically, moon water, because of where I live, I have access to getting water from like glacier water as well, because I live like right on a mountain. And that's like a whole nother video in of itself of just like different waters that I have. But yeah, I will always just like have it sit and allow it to just evaporate. So it can look dirty each time that it evaporates. But I got it off of eBay. It was like one of those bidding things, darling, right? There was a point in I had a phase with eBay with crystals where I was just like, I like to do like the bidding ones, try to get crystals for like a good deal, darling. And so this is one of them. And y'all wouldn't believe how much I paid for this. I paid, I think it was 75. I'm pretty sure this was like 75. If 75 or $100 for this. And this is like a heavy thing. But, darling, you know, but, and this is gorgeous, right? This is gorgeous in of its own. But then, baby, it has a top. Oh, you thought I was playing, darling? Baby, this top, let's see, this is right. Okay, this I can show you guys up close. It has a top. So, baby, that's right, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite stones. And you can flash that. I'm using my phone to live stream, what I would show y'all. But you can like put a light through it. See, you can kind of tell with this light here. You can see through it and it's so gorgeous, right? But oh my God, this is the baby. Whenever I'm trying to manifest something, darling, I always use this baby right here. Like anytime I'm trying to have like any type of magical, right? I always use this baby. When you you know something's gonna be happening, we're gonna be conjuring up some witchy shit. When this crystal comes out, some shit's about to go down, darling. Right? This is my favorite. And yeah, it was like 70, I wanted to say it was like $75. $75 and it was so gorgeous, honey. I felt so lucky when I got it. Thank you. I'm so, yeah. Now that I got my nails done, I'm definitely going to be doing, which by the way, I feel like I always say it in every single live stream, but I'm going to be incorporating like some pick a cards, like monthly pick a cards, because I don't do monthly zodiac readings just because it doesn't fit with my reading style. But yeah, this is my favorite crystal. And I showed this a little bit. Yeah, that one's just agate, and I'm pretty sure it's just quartz. But yeah, this is my other favorite one. Now this one is definitely gonna have like my fingerprints on it because hello. But this one's gorgeous as well. This is smoky quartz. I got this one from my friend. Some of y'all would know her, Akelta, from Akelta, Satan and Sons. Some of y'all might know me from Satan and Sons. But yeah, she gave me this crystal, the smoky quartz orb. And I use this one more so for when I'm meditating. I'll use this one sometimes for readings, as well, personal readings. But for the most part, I will use this one. Y'all can see my light umbrella light with it. But I will mainly use this one to hold when I am meditating as well for more so just, again, for manifesting. But usually I will use this to anchor energy, right? Anytime I'm meditating, if whether I'm trying to connect to a deity or whatever, this will be like the focal point for me. And so this is one of my favorites as well. Smoky quartz. What are you feeling about, Dion asks, what are your feelings about lapis? Lapis is actually my favorite stone that's always been my absolute favorite stone is lapis. I have 2 lapis skulls, which if you watch my full moon video, I did a full moon in Aquarius video a couple days ago. Which I love the editing. That was like the full moon in Aquarius video. I actually worked so hard on the editing on it, and I don't think anyone really noticed, which is okay. That's kind of the name of the game when it comes to YouTube, right? The behind the scenes part of all like the technicalities, right? Like when you actually see it, it doesn't seem like it's all that complex, but the technicalities on doing things is just so much more drilling. I'm understanding why people don't do as much editing. But yeah, like in the full moon in Aquarius one, I talk highly about lapis during this time because lapis is such a stone of, let me see. I have I use an old bag. I think I have some lapis right here. Let me see. My bag of goodies. Oh, Tulip's getting up. Maybe she'll go get it for me. But I love lapis for the sense of, should I just go get the lapis, y'all? The things I do for you guys. Let me get my glasses. Let me see first before I leave this frame so y'all don't just hear me crashing and burning. Ugh. Y'all I feel like most people know this at this point, but like I always do all my videos on my bed, darling. Off the side of my bed. So. Okay. Let's see. Ugh. 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 All right. Ugh. I promise I'm still here, y'all. All right. Ugh. All right. Hello. So I got some crystals. I also got my eggplant flask. I got this from my best friend Anna years ago. I should have filled this. Next time I do a live stream, next time I do a drinking live stream, darling, which are very far and few between, I'm gonna use this. Whenever, next time you see me drinking, I'm gonna be just whipping this out. You know what? No, I'm gonna use this for all my tarot videos now. Anytime I'm just like, I'm doing like a reading, y'all, you know, I'm just like reading Libra, I'm reading Leo or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, water break, darling. And I'm just like, imagine people's reactions just coming into my channel for the first time. I'm just like, not the eggplant. Miss Kimosabe, you already know this eggplant, darling. uh, this is my favorite thing. Like, this is why, like, because I love it so much being able to just, like, I love the polarizing difference between, like, me talking about some super spiritual stuff and then the polarizing difference, and then we get to, like, memes, right? The SpongeBob painting, you know if you know, darling, of the finest. The people with fine art taste, darling, know this exquisite piece. You know that I'm doing good on YouTube, darling. When... You know, it wasn't expected to be a flash, yeah. You know I'm being treated well on YouTube when I can afford a fine painting, like Bold and Brash. Bold and Brash, right? I bought this painting, I don't even remember the name of it. Bold and Brash. Not the eggplant, yeah. You found me through initially SNS. Can I do a live and teach uneducated? Y'all are not uneducated peasants, right? No, just because you don't know something doesn't, there's plenty y'all know about more than me, so don't ever feel bad. Don't be downplaying yourself. You always have, everyone learns it at some point, right? Crystals and using them during manifestation and chakras as well. While I'm not qualified, I know, I say I'm not qualified because, again, when it comes to that stuff especially, I know people who actually go to school for that sort of thing. So all I can really share is my perspective through asking questions. So I always want to like make that clear. It's like there's definitely other people who are far more educated than I am on it. But also, you guys, did I get it? Oh. Hey, Stovetop Ninja, how are you doing, doll? I know you were feeling a little bit rough the other day, and I'll be including you in a special ritual tonight, Stovetop. So thank you for the $10. But you guys, this is how y'all know we're friends, because hold on, I need to have eye contact with you guys. This is how you know we're friends when I'm showing you my special rock. Doesn't it sound ridiculous when it's just like when you put it in this perspective? I feel like a little kid be like, y'all want to see my favorite rock? You did a certification for Reiki last month. So yeah, there's people who are actually like formally educated. Okay, Tulip. On it, but y'all, my to sound dirty, my first crystal ever, very first crystal that I was talking about. And now, again, it's not no beauty piece, right? But it's gorgeous to me. There is like a, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, there's a rainbow in here. Yeah, there's definitely like some small, you wouldn't be able to, the camera I don't think would be able to catch it. But yeah, this is my very first crystal that I had as a little boy. I used to have a name for it. I don't remember the name I had. If only I could just tap into the, if someone could tap into this crystal, if we ever get to the technology where you can plug in crystals, darling. Okay, Tulip, calm down now, darling. Then there'd be so much this crystal could say, darling. But yeah, like this crystal, always, ugh. So many memories with this one. My favorite one ever, truly. Even though it's nothing flash or anything, right? It's still like such a gorgeous one. I remember, such a vivid memory. I have a vivid memory of like, we used to have back in Florida, this green hand soap. She does sense it, right? She's getting jealous. She's like, hold up, what's you holding? we had this green hand soap, and I would take a toothbrush and I would just scrub it. I would try to, because there, I don't know if the camera's catching it, but there's like this a little bit of like dirt stuck in here, and I would just like use the toothbrush and I would just scrub it all the time. That would be like my thing I would do every single day, right? And yeah, it's just like one of those like cute memories, and just, yeah, it's not a flashy stone. It wasn't expensive at all, but it's like the thing, it's quite literally the oldest thing that I have in my life. This is like the only thing that I have. Like, I don't have pictures or anything like that, but I have this crystal. And so like this is like the one thing that's like my special, it's my special rock, darling. You're good? I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad you like the nails. Yeah, I'm very glad. I'm very happy with the choices that I did this time. Oh, the music was tripping me out for a moment. Yeah. So, also, so Dion asked, did I get the crystal? I did. So Dion asked about lapis. So, I don't know if Dion's still here. Did I paint them? No, I go to this one lady, Mimi. She knows I have this YouTube channel. I tell her all the time, I'm just like, girl, just if you ever want to feel like, if you want a self-esteem boost, just go to any of my tarot videos, because there'll always be someone complimenting my hands or my nails, and it's just, I always say it's just because of her. But yeah, she does them. They're my natural nails. I just get gel on top. I don't like to have long nails, but I like to she always says that I have such beautiful nails. Like, she always says that I have such beautiful nails in my nail bed. And so it was until her that I like started appreciating my nails. But that's always just been like my thing now. It's just getting my nails done purely just for YouTube. But you guys. So, oh, Dion's there. Hey, Dion. So Dion asked about lapis. Lapis is my favorite stone. One of the stones, like, whenever I have my own place, darling, I want to have, like, so much lapis everywhere. I have 2 of these. But this lapis, I feel like, is just a fabulous stone for people because it helps you connect to, how would you say this? It helps you become very aware of like your authentic thoughts, like what it is that you're truly feeling, what it is that you're truly thinking about, and being able to help you communicate it properly, right? Lapis is fabulous for your throat chakra, so that's part of the reason why, you know, when you see the color blue, a lot of people don't know, like, the chakras are based off of colors. So when you see like blue stones, those are going to normally be helpful when it comes to working on your throat chakra, for example. When you see greens, those are going to be most known for your heart chakra, etc., etc. And so with lapis, it helps you really actively communicate it without adding all like the fluff, right? So what I mean by this is, whereas, like, you know, if you ask me, being like, oh, Velka, do you want to go out to eat tonight? You know, without lapis, without lapis, then your answer would be this. But, you know, my normal answer may be like, if I didn't want to go, but I didn't want to disappoint you, right? I'd be like, well, what restaurant, right? Or like picking through this way and trying to just like, even though I don't want to go, I'm trying to compromise just because I don't want to upset you. Whereas like with the concept with lapis, by incorporating it more in your life, you would have no problems. I would have no problems saying, she's like, well, no, I don't feel like going out to eat tonight because I'm trying to save money. You know, in that sense of where it's like you have no problems authentically speaking your truth, and not trying to like water your wordage down, right? It's kind of like that sense of, there's a phrase or a saying where it's like no is a complete sentence. Lapis helps you obtain that no is the complete sentence thing, where you don't feel like you have to explain yourself, right? You like dip powder? It makes the natural nails harder and it's pretty. You have some lava rock. Nice. You need it, you want it. Yeah, I have several skull crystals. I also have amethyst. Someone was saying, I don't remember, if I see your name I'll know who it was. I believe it was, well, you'll know, but amethyst is, I brought over some amethyst. This amethyst right here, now this is another one I was recently given by my friend Alana. But this amethyst here, as I have cat here. Oh, here's song. Oh, here's the song. Y'all remember when I was talking about, oh, like, hold up, let me get this song playing. This is the song. Hold up. Y'all, we have to vibe. We have to put a note on the amethyst real quick. So, this song from Tom Fox is so good. It's going to be a little bit loud because I want y'all to hear it. It's this opening intro. Y'all probably couldn't hear it, so let me play it back again. I just want to hear it again. Okay, I went too far back. There we go. Here it comes. Mmm. 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 Alright, so I love this song so much. The intro to it is just, the beat he made is just, it like hits your soul, right? And it just makes you want to just groove, you know? I love it. Before I turned on this live stream, I was like vibing out to Nicki Minaj. Very contrasting artists. But yeah, this amethyst, I was given this amethyst by, going back into the cult conversation again, by someone who actually is still I'm friends with. Well, kind of friends with still. We just don't communicate anymore. But her name was she's still alive, honey. Y'all can see my struggle in being able to like figuring out how to like communicate all, like that weird dynamic from people in the cult. Tanya, I'll say her name. But she gave me this crystal. Several others. I have like this habit, y'all, ever since in high school. This is a thing. Like, anyone that knows me from, anyone that knows me, calm down. People that know me from like back when I was like a teenager know this has like always been my thing. In high school, I was always giving out, like I have this thing of like giving crystals away. Right? If I just kept all the crystals that I have, and not just like tiny crystals, I've given away like orbs and stuff like this. Like that's just always been my thing. I just like to always just, like, that's just me. Whenever whenever I have like all the money, like a bunch of money, darling, and I have my own place, like that would be the thing. When people come to my house, I'm gonna just tell them, like, before you walk out the door, grab you a crystal, honey. I just like, that's just my thing. I always just, that's like here. And so she gave me other ones, but this amethyst was one of those crystals that she gave me when I graduated high school. And this is probably, again, like, it's funny how this is all turning out, like, some of my oldest stuff. Let's take it back. All of the oldest things that I own are crystals. Am I a fan of podcasts? There's a couple about cults that you've been listening to that are interesting. I like some like, that's the thing. I'm a visual person, so anytime I try to get into a podcast, it needs to be like where I can like see them, then I can get into it. But if it's just like listening, then I can't really get into it. Gift giving, that's my love language. It's kind of my love language is gift giving. Really, like, 'cause like a true southerner, like my favorite thing to do is cooking. I love cooking for people. That's just like, preferably that would be like my thing. I don't really care for like, I like gifts when they're not like Christmas and birthdays and stuff. Honestly, I don't even want to celebrate like Christmas and stuff. Like, I think I kind of want to just like tell people, it's just like, don't get me anything, because it's like, I like to have gifts that just are thoughtful in the moment, sort of thing, right? But primarily my love language, the thing that like all my animals share, all my animals, I have just my cat right now, but in Texas, where my home base is, back in high school, my dog was a beagle, full-bred beagle. She's still alive. She's named Hope. All my animals that I've had in my life all share the same thing of where I'm very much so, I'm not good with physical contact with people, darling, because of trauma, hello. But with animals, like, I'm very much so, like, I'm an intimate person. And so it's like, whenever, like, I'm petting, like, an animal of any type, I always like to have my face pressed on. Like, I like touch. I feel like touch is just, like, such a very way to just like really affirm like a connection, right? Like, even just like having, like, putting your hand on someone's like shoulder or like someone's lap or something, lap. I guess that can sound kind of, you know what I mean though, right? And so like all my animals will just like communicate in that way of where they're just super they will just like invest, like put the whole face into it. Like with Tulip, you know how some cats will just like rub against you with their face? Like Tulip full on just like headbutts you. What is my star sign? I am a Libra Scorpio cusp. You can recommend a few shows for me to watch for sure. Absolutely. Your cat Meyer wants to lay on you. That's so sweet. All right. Ooh, this is, again, not really a flashy stone, but this is a stone dug up myself, actually. This one right here. Again, it's quartz with iron. I'm pretty sure it's like iron deposits in it. Oh, hey, Rodavas. You can't stay for long. All right, you have a good full moon, darling. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. This is one of my favorite, well, not one of my, obviously I have a lot of favorites, but another one of my like stones. Again, not flashy, but I like the sense of it being like on like a little platform, right? I love using it for like as like a little bit of an offering plate of some sort, right? So like I would put like the bulb of a rose or a tulip or something like right on the top of it and allow that to just like wither out and stuff like that, right? So one of my favorites for that because it just looks so like, I don't know, it just looks so, for people who like play Super Smash Bros or something or know of like Super Smash Bros, it reminds me of like a stadium that like would be like created to like fight on or something. Super random, huh? Any tips on manifesting today? So, depending on what it is that you want, Sarah, what are you trying to, like for me, this full moon personally, which I'm actually going to be recording a ritual tonight to post later. I want to give too much detail on that. But depending on what it is that you're trying to manifest, Sarah. Alright, yeah, y'all know about Super Smash Bros. Okay, y'all get the reference then. Let me know if the music's like too obnoxious, by the way. How many times can I say that? Alright. Oh, another thing that I got from Tanya is this fluorite. Honey, as like noises fall everywhere. I have this fluorite tower. This is probably like the thing I'm proud of the most in terms of being able to like. Alright, the music's probably a little bit too much. Not to be obnoxious at, oh, you're not being obnoxious at all, darling. Yes, feel that tequila, darling. I love tequila. Is like a nice like tequila is what I will take. Either I start with tequila or I will like tequila will be like my breaking point of where it's just like, you know, when listen, for my adults out there, and I know for my demographic there's no kids watching, so it's just like, you know, when you're just like for my people that know, it's just like when you're trying to drink and you're just trying to get to a certain phase, right? You're trying to just feel something, honey, right? So you'll be actively drinking. I'll drink tequila and that'll be like the final point where I'm just like, okay, at this point after this tequila shot, maybe a couple, then I will use like, that's gonna be like the final like hard alcohol that I'll take, and then from there I'll just like maintain it, because with tequila that one will just sneak up on you, honey. Yes, but selenite is like, this one is like from, I've like gone everywhere with this crystal, and it's so big too, right? Selenite, you can't get wet because it'll like literally like melt. This one honestly has like, you'll notice there's probably like a word for it, but there's been like dust and stuff that has collected on it, I'm sure, but there's also a portion of where it's like bits and pieces where it's like super humid as well, so like the ridges are kind of impacted. It used to be a lamp, right? So you can, it still is, so you can put like a light bulb in there. But yeah. Selenite, super cleansing, so whoever was asking about that in terms of cleansing from before, putting selenite in your space, just in whatever space that you're in, think of it as like your air filter, but for energy, is what selenite is. It's super cheap as well. Don't like people, selenite, you'll see like large chunks of it and people feel as if like, oh, there must be like, I need to pay a price, right? because like it's so easy to overpay for selenite because people see like a large piece and they'll just be like, oh wow, this is only 40 bucks or whatever, let me buy it, right? There's no way. And in actuality, it's like selenite is just super cheap, right? Super cheap. So don't ever overpay for selenite. Hey Colin, how are you doing? There's levels to that. Yeah. The plates of it are nice. Yeah, for sure. I don't have any selenite plates. I try to avoid nowadays. I've been a lot better about not another crystal from that same sense. I like this one just because it's like a little bit of a city. Um, yeah, I kind of stopped on my crystal collection for now, just because I like to be a little bit mobile. Like I don't want to have too much stuff, right? Until I have like my own place. So, because I don't want to have to be moving so much. Another lapis, right? Dion asked the question about how I feel about lapis, darling. A lapis sphere. I love spheres. That's my favorite thing is are spheres. So, love lapis. Let's see here. I'm like looking through my bag of crystals, honey. I have crystals everywhere. Y'all, we're gonna just go on by this one. I ain't even gonna say anything, darling. But in the name of lapis, darling, still have lapis. No, I'm not gonna say anything. But you know, I talked about how spheres are my favorite shape. I guess this is like a second contender. Let's see. I have like, that's the thing, is I have a bunch of like, not nearly as interesting, right? I have like a bunch of like little, I forget the name of that. The only time to have blue balls being okay. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, I have like a bunch of like towers and stuff that I'll use. Ooh, now we can get into grids, I guess, when it comes to manifesting as well. Yeah, now we're getting into like the pockets where I have all my crystals for crystals. For grids and stuff. So in terms of like manifesting when it comes to crystals, I always say it's important. People will stock up on like and it's how everyone does it, darling. I'm guilty of it as well, so don't even take it as like, oh, like everyone has this problem but me. But like, well, everyone will collect crystals, right? Because they're gorgeous to look at, right? And if there's nothing wrong with it. But with this, I always say it's important to have like purposeful stones, purposeful crystals rather than just crystals that are cute to look at. Because just because you can have like this giant crystal, right? Just because you can have, where's the lapis skull, darling? It's a giant thing and I can't find it anymore. All right, yeah. So just because I have this giant lapis, right? While it's gorgeous to look at, it still can do the very same thing as this lapis. It'll still get the job done no matter the size. But that's my point, right? And so obviously, darling, like I love me some lapis, so it's just like it's perfectly fine and like darling and whatever, right? But it's important to have crystals that you actually can utilize in a grid. With this one, with these crystal skulls, while yes, obviously you can incorporate this into a grid, it's a lot harder to do because it's a massive thing. This would be like a centerpiece, right? And then for like a grid, this is when you would get into, let's see here, you would get into like using these types of crystals, right? You would start creating like focal points, right? And viewing like the crystals as a way of where it's extending out energy. And so again, it comes like a becomes a place of where you're anchoring and just holding a bunch of energy and having that, setting the intent for it, for what it is that you're doing. Again, it would be kind of like putting out a I kind of see like a grid in the name of using analogies. It would be the sense of using a grid, or like the equivalent would be like using like a humidifier for your space, right? Using a humidifier, so you're consistently adding moisture, whereas like a grid, you're consistently putting out a certain vibration of energy, with the intent on something, right? So in a sense, it's just kind of like an ongoing active ritual. You wear mine, you associate the pantheon with certain crystals. You'll channel that, you'll wear that crystal, otherwise pocket. Yeah, for sure. You tend to buy crystals that you're drawn to. Yeah, big facts. Yeah, crystal grids are very, like, there's never a wrong time to have grids. And the more grids you have, the better. So never stray away from grids. And again, that's grids. I feel like, again, like grids are one of those things that a lot of people may not incorporate as much when they could if they have all the crystals for it, because it's so easy to do, but you'll only see pictures of like these grandiose, like gorgeous grids, when you can quite literally create a grid off of like tiny, like $2 stones, you know, the size of like $2 stones. Like it truly doesn't matter. All right, let's see here. Ooh. I don't this one needs to be dusted. I think this is still also amethyst. Someone let me know, my crystal experts. Let me know, is this a amethyst? And I forget the name of this stone. I wish I could remember this stone. I'll get back to you on this, but this is like a really good stone. Let's see here. My bag of goodies, honey. This one. Oh, this one. This one. Again, I need to dust it. It's all in a bag, darling, so it's just like, don't judge me. I can't have my stuff on display. More so because I just don't have the space. But, that sounds uncomfortable. What sounds uncomfortable? Did I say something that would be uncomfortable? Nothing too big, nothing too spiky. Yeah, this crystal I probably overpaid for a little bit. Actually, no. I would say I paid probably like the right price. I saw this in a corner of a crystal store. It was sitting on a pot. I don't think there is necessarily for sale. But then when I was walking out, I was like, ooh, I want this. Right? Because I also like love little caves. So I was just like, ooh, I want this. And so I was like, how much for this? And so, let me see. Why is this? There we go. So yeah, this is one of my other ones. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just quartz as well, darling. I have a lot of quartz. Because quartz is like that universal stone where you can't really go wrong with it, right? Other crystals, other stones are like specialized, but with quartz you can do quite literally anything with them. Oh, honey, let me see. What else have I got in here? Hopping in the bath on top of a crystal grid might kind of hurt. Oh yeah, no ma'am. Ooh, I wish I could remember this one. This one's to help you sleep. What would this one be called? Here I was just before talking about purposeful stones, but sodalite tower. I also have a sodalite skull. Oh yeah, someone asked the question though, in terms of like manifesting. You usually write what you want to release, what no longer serves your greater good. Yes, yes, yes. I have little vials as well. I have a vial of carnelian, blue topaz, just different stones as well. Whenever it comes to like different rituals that I'm doing, I'll always incorporate small stones for whatever the craft it is that I'm doing. So even if I'm just like, if you're even like incorporating water, right? If you're collecting moon water. So as I said before, I have moon water for different things. And so, excuse me, for carnelian, right? You could have moon water with carnelian. You could have water with gold in it, and that would help with manifesting, right? You could have the blue topaz in terms of being able to have, you know, have your words speak bigger impact, right? So on and so forth. You know, it's one of those, like, again, just like those layered processes of like, you know, you can get moon water, nothing's wrong with moon water, but why not just take it, you know, another quartz? Why not take it to that extra notch, right? Even though, again, just those little tiny crystals doesn't seem like it would be much of anything. Little platform. But it really does make the world a difference, right? At least in my experience with the rituals that I've done. I mean, I can't complain about the results that I've had. Let me see here. Do I have any other? Ooh. Alright, I think that's about it in terms of what I feel like digging up anyways. Maybe. I think so. Let's see. I know we have stuff in here as well, but I think these are just... Alright. We have a little gold spoon that I got from a thrift store. I'm not quite sure why this is in here. Honey, I don't even know what's in this little bag of crystals. Hold up. Child. I'm like learning my own crystals in front of y'all. Remember that part where I talked about purposeful crystals, honey? Yeah, these are all just like a bunch of tiny crystals, so no point in getting into them. So I think I'm done showing off my crystals. There is still a bunch of other ones around the room, but we don't need to go looking for all those. You think that's fluorite? Fun bag of gems, yeah. I have bags on bags, like I have bags separating each of these bags. This used to be my old gym bag, so it's a little bit dirty. Like, but I have like just a giant bag of crystals and bags in the bags. Oh, honey, this just wore me out, honey. I need a drink. Nothing in here. The ridiculousness. I need to get something in here just so I can. I am gonna mark my words, darlings. When you see my live streams later on, or my videos later on, you're gonna be seeing that eggplant's gonna be making several appearances, darling. Several appearances. Thank you so much, Therese, for the $20. I appreciate that. You need to get going. All right, you have a good night. I think I might be even ending the live stream here soon too as well, since it's been an hour and a half and I still got so many rituals to do, darling. But we'll still vibe out for a little bit longer, right? I still wanted to do, I'm gonna put these away, but I still wanted to do like a little bit of a spread for tarot cards, but maybe I'll put a hold on that, because you know what, maybe I'll just put the cards on hold for a while, because I just don't feel like doing readings tonight. I enjoy just talking to you guys. We'll do that. All right, we'll do that. Let me see here. I need to put this bag of crystals away, because now I just want to keep on digging through here. You're like, what else do I have in here? Ooh, I know what I can show you guys. Hold up. You know what, honey? Where are my glasses? Do I have it here? I do. Hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm about to show y'all some history. Ooh, I can show you guys this too. Oh, honey. So, so I don't have too many bones in terms of skulls and all that, right? I don't have too many bones, but I do, because like I feel not weird buying bones, but I just want to have the bones come to me, right? So, I have a few more of these, but I got this. I'm pretty sure it's the spine of coyote. When I went out camping in the California desert, I forget what year. I went camping out in the desert in California a couple years in a row, but I think this is either for New Year's or Thanksgiving or Christmas. No, the Christmas and New Year's was one trip. It was one of those times, but yeah, I found this this coyote spine, some of them, and then so I've kept that. I usually only incorporate, especially for the type of, like, you know, depending on what kind of bones you're using. I will always just use this one whenever I'm trying to connect more so to animal totems, people's animal totems, and also just, again, when it comes to no different than deity work, trying to view the animals and see what different, that helps me, in essence, just get more connected to the animal realms, animal spirits, and all that. So wanted to share y'all with that. Thank you for the $10. You really needed this tonight. Y'all make me so happy. I'm so glad that you guys actually just enjoy me hanging out and just talking to you guys, and I don't have to just like give readings, because that's the thing. Like, I love giving the tarot readings, but it just like, I want to be able to just talk to you guys. But I always just convince myself that no one cares about me just talking. So it's like, I don't ever do live streams like I always want to do. Or ever even like personal videos, right? As much anymore, because I'm just like, no one probably cares. But I always get proven wrong, so I just need to kind of get out of my head, right? I have my own imposter syndrome to be addressing, huh? So, history, darling. Everyone always asks me, Velka, what starting deck do you suggest? Velka, what deck did you start with? Honey, I still got my the very same tarot deck, darling, that I started doing readings with over 10 years ago. This is this deck, Miss Doreen Virtue. Literally, this box is falling apart. This has history on it because literally I would keep this box in my beige purse. Ooh, I'm gonna cry because it just makes me think on just like how much is like, I would, you know, back when I was in high school, I always just say it's like back on my day, it wasn't like nearly as accepting to do what I do is now, right? With makeup and even spiritual stuff. But I was always just unapologetically myself. That's always just been me. And so I had a beige purse from Amazon, and I would keep this deck in my purse, and so it would be falling apart, darling. And so literally, this blue tape that I have is blue tape that I stole from the school to tape up the sides of the box, because it was literally falling apart, because keep um I would just keep them in my bag. I'd always just be giving readings to people in school and stuff like that. So yeah, it's this first deck I ever started with. I still have the cards themselves as well. Still have these cards, darling. I have two of these as well. I know some of you guys be like, oh, I recognize it. It's like, no, this one I only use for personal stuff. Because it has that history, right? I have two of these because one's for the purpose of like actual like public, right? But yeah, this one's always just been like my own personal one. And so it's so funny because it's like I can see like there's just history on these cards, darling. Like all the like cracks and little bends in it and stuff. Even the artwork is not even quite the same as like the newer versions of it. And so this is probably like this would be if I ever were to make history in this world. When I make history in this world, let's correct our speakage, right? Our verbiage. When I make history in this world and I pass away, I would want this deck to be like in some type of like museum or something. I would want this to be somehow just like showcased. Even though the funny thing is, darling, Miss Doreen Virtue herself told everybody to burn her decks, right? She doesn't believe it. She doesn't subscribe to this stuff anymore. And here I am just being like, But yeah, this is like, it's just nothing flashy about the deck. I still believe it's a wonderful starting deck for people. But yeah, it's more so what really like makes it like just so in my opinion, what makes it fabulous is just the sense of like the history behind like what it's being held in, right? This shows like the love with it. This backs up everything that I always say, how I used to always just flip out tarot cards and stuff. It's like, no, this is not just like a thing that I developed from watching people on YouTube drawing. Nothing wrong with it, right? But it's just like, no, baby, like I've been through the trenches, darling. I've been giving these readings to people. It's just like literally, it's just even down to the point of being like, I stole this tape from the school, darling, because I was like, ooh, blue tape, that's fabulous, darling. And so like I saw a roll and I was like, oh, that's mine. And so yeah, my favorite deck ever. Let's see here. What was I even gonna be going? I felt like I got that for a reason, but I don't remember why I did. Let's see though. Can y'all even hear the music? Let me know. Let me see. Actually, let me just press refresh on this, and maybe I can just check for myself, so I don't keep on just asking you guys. I can't tell. Oh well. Yeah, it does have a lot of history. That's the thing. That's truly the thing that I'm proud of the most. Is like I don't have a lot of stuff, right? I can fit all my stuff in 2 suitcases, because I just been, you know, and I know that sounds like sad or whatever, right? But it's not. Like I started my journey, like literally I always say like I picked up my bags, packed my bags, and out of a whim gave my 2 weeks notice from a job that like made me an alcoholic, made me depressed. And that's why I don't talk about my past ever, just because it's like I really don't consider myself like I have a history, right? But it's like I never truly felt like, you know, I just been so many years of myself just being dissociated after dealing with so much trauma that never was worked through. I always just lived from a disconnected state. So whenever I like packed my bags, and left for California several years ago, that's when I kind of viewed my life officially starting. And so because I don't have a place that I call like my home, like you know, I don't have, you know, obviously I have a home right now, but it's like having like my own like apartment, like that's like this, like once I can like have like my own apartment and stuff and just have everything there, that'll be like my home base, and that's just, I'll be so happy. That's when I'll actually like expound from being able to like fit everything in 2 suitcases, right? So when people say they're just like, oh, I don't think I have enough stuff or anything like that, or they don't feel like they can, like they don't have the money to have a spiritual practice, it's just like, darling, if I can make it work off of 2 suitcases, you know, if I can still have a thriving spiritual practice, you know, if I can literally create something out of nothing, right? Literally, we said, like, I was talking about it earlier in the live stream, whereas, like, this time last year, I had 500 subscribers, you know? Um, you know, I literally, all I have is 2 suitcases to my name, Miss Tulip, honey, and nothing flashy, literally 2 different tapestries, thumbtacked on, Amazon Light, bold and brash is the most valuable thing I have in my life, darling. And I sit over the side of my bed and I record and I do readings, right? It's nothing glamorous, right? It's far from glamorous, but I make it work. And yeah, I don't know. There's like, if there's truly, this is probably gonna sound like a corny message, but it's just, I never want people to feel as if they can't. I feel like the idea for people, like it's like the idea of actually like immersing yourself in something and being so afraid of like messing up or doing something wrong or whatever. And truly, it's just something I just want to tell people is like you literally can just like, it doesn't matter the set, like where it is that you are at in your life or what have you, you can literally do something. You can literally do something. You can create something out of completely nothing, you know? And yeah, I guess that's really want to say about that. That's the beauty of it as well. That's the beauty of my YouTube channel, where it's just like I have like over 800 videos, darling, and y'all have watched me grow from the very beginning. And so y'all know when I say it's just like, oh, I'm so great, like I'm really am like so grateful to be able to just like connect with you guys and be able to just talk to you guys, like, you know, like Be Familiar said earlier, it's just like you really needed this, but it's just like I needed it just the same as well, you know. There's been a lot of history between where I started and to now, and it's been a very lonely road, darling. Been a very lonely road, right? And so this box, this tarot box shows the history of someone who quite literally just stayed by like their passion. You know, that was a corny thing, wasn't it, huh? Let's see here. What do we want to... Miss Tulip. Oh, I wanted to show this as well. I got this from a friend as well. I forget the name of these. Are they called organites? Someone will know in the comments. But citrine is my top 3 favorite stones. Lapis, citrine, what would be my third one? Lapis, citrine, malachite. Lapis, anyone ever wants to know my favorite stones is lapis, citrine, malachite. Those 3, honey, the beautiful combination. Also, even my ring. Honestly, this ring probably keeps me single, darling, because probably people think that I'm like engaged or married. But it's like I bought this ring whenever I first came to Washington. This was like my like mark. Or like the thing I have is just like signifying this part of the journey. And so I like it was like $200 or something. So it's just like a little piece that I always like to wear. And yeah, this is a citrine ring with sapphire as the leaves. And I just think it's so gorgeous. Even if I win, darling, again, correcting my verbiage, whenever I get married, I would love to have like a wedding ring that would be like this citrine or something a little bit more glamorous with citrine incorporated into it. But yeah, I love me some citrine, darling. But yeah, organs. Yes. Citrine. Citrine is beautiful. Citrine is a stone that you do not have to cleanse, right? Citrine is a self-cleansing stone. People will confuse citrine and heat-treated amethyst when they're completely different things. Heat-treated amethyst can give the color of citrine, but you can always tell the difference between heat-treated amethyst and actual citrine because it just looks different. Now, I don't have any heat-treated amethyst personally. Excuse me, kitty. Excuse me, kitty. I'm gonna pull out my citrine, though. I don't have any heat-treated amethyst at all, but I do have some citrine. Ugh. Ugh. Let me show this one as well. Ugh. All right. Hello. But yeah, citrine is self-cleansing. It's very good for manifesting money. So if you ever looking for like a stone for that, citrine is, you can never go wrong with citrine. Citrine, when it's actually real, is a little bit pricier. So that's the price you pay compared to heat-treated amethyst. That's why many people end up having heat-treated amethyst rather than actual citrine. Y'all can already tell I don't really care for heat-treated amethyst. Nothing wrong with it, I just don't like it. But yeah, this is a fabulous piece of citrine. I'm probably going to be either using this citrine or... Where's my other one? I have like another one of citrines, but I don't know where it is. Anyways, I'm going to probably use citrine, either this citrine or a different one, as a sacrifice for later, for a ritual. So, but yeah, I love me some citrine. Citrine's such a fabulous stone. If I ever want to sell my collection, let you know. See, yeah, I don't think I could ever just, I mean, Tulip's looking. She's like, hold up, we can make money off your crystals. I don't think I would ever sell my stones just because, like, again, like, I still have this one, right? I have my attachment to certain stones. And I just have, like, such a beautiful vision of whenever I have my own place on having them in display. I just think, like, whenever I have my own space, it's just gonna, oh, it's gonna be gorgeous. So... But I also have, y'all might appreciate this stone a little bit of a jack-o'-lantern moment. Alright. I have a skull one as well. Let me see. I wish I could know where my other citrine was so I could show y'all that one. Oh well. But yeah. Alright, y'all. So, I think we're winding down now because it's about to be 2 hours since I've been doing this, while I've been doing this live stream. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me though. Also, actually, we'll take this time to just like wind down for like the next 5 minutes before I take off. But let me know if you guys have any questions on whether it's related to this or anything. Aw, hey Patrice. You're late to the party. I'll be doing, I promise you, I always say this, but I promise you, I'll be trying to do more. I just got a Snapchat memory. You have memories from 5 years ago today. Honey, the coincidence in that, right? I don't know if I want to look at Snapchat memories from 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was what, 20? Yeah, I was 20. Hmm. Hmm. Well, let's not look at those hidden memories. But yeah, if there's anything, when it comes to like anything occult related, metaphysical related, let me know the questions that you guys have, if you guys have any questions, because I have some rituals that I need to do tonight, but I'm also going to be doing some recordings as well. So I'll prioritize whatever people might have. Take care, Colin. Whatever people might have questions on. But yeah, this has been super fun, honeys. It's 8:30 right now at night for me. So I'm hoping to have all the prep work done before midnight. And which I should be able to. I should be able to accomplish that. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, I promise. I think I'm gonna be recording. Someone asked me about Leviathan, so I might do a video on Leviathan next. I also wanted to do a ritual, like showcasing a ritual that Belial showed me for a client. I wanted to like give that out to the world for people to use when it comes to wanting to remove some type of a spiritual attachment to them if they feel as if someone's being haunted on some level. Belial showed me a ritual and I wanted to record that. Also wanted to record a manifestation ritual, which I have to do tonight because I'm doing a ritual, so I might as well just do both at once. Kill two birds with one stone, honey. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be prioritizing a lot more for that. Am I West Coast? Yes, I am West Coast. I lived in California for a year. I lived in Fresno, California. Fresno, California I lived at for a year. Now I live in Washington. But yeah, I wanted to probably my next video, spiritual video, will probably be like some tips from Lilith as well. 3 ways of connecting with Lilith, because that's like an interesting approach as well. But yeah, we'll be seeing, honey. We'll be seeing. Video glitched out a lot talking about that. That's weird. I still have to decide on which deities I want to work with tonight, though. That's something I usually don't like to just include, like, again, similar to crystals when it comes to deities. I don't want to just, like, call upon, like, a deity or various deities just because I usually like to wait and see who steps forward. So that's kind of like the majority of the prep work for me is meditating and seeing which deities are stepping forward to be part of my ritual. I do have some people in mind, so I have to make offerings to them and see how they feel about doing that tonight. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I find it so funny. Quite literally, like my entire channel, anything that I talk about, because like I don't keep anything hidden, darling, right? Even like, and so like when I meet people in real life, I'm just like, and like the normal thing to do is like exchanging like Instagrams and stuff, right? But like my Instagram is connected to my YouTube, so it's like I always find it funny anytime I'm just like meeting someone in like real life, and it's like they have like they have a different entire perception of who I am and like what it is I do, and then they get into my Instagram and they're just like, who is this? Me talking about all this other stuff. But I enjoy it. That's like the one thing I take, because I always say, like, I find my existence funny. I think I don't take myself seriously at all. I mean, clearly I'm wearing a damn witch's hat, honey. I don't take myself seriously at all because I don't think this life is meant to be taken seriously. I see this life as like a board game, right? I've said this, like, I got this message whenever I first started doing tarot readings in high school. And I told somebody, I was just like, life is just a board game, and we're all just here playing our own little Monopoly pieces, right? We're all just here to have some fun, learn some things from one another, but we all put up that board game by the end of it, right? So it's nothing serious. And so yeah, that's how I always view things. And it's like I can take myself, my personal self, take myself out of the situation and look at myself, and I'm just like, honey, like, girl, I find my existence funny. I find everything that I do funny, and I find the very contrasting traits of my personality. Is that the word I want to use? All the different facets of my personality, of my being. It's like you can be friends with me for 6 years and you're still learning different parts of different quirks about me. There's always something that someone's learning about that they never knew about with me, because I'm just such a eccentric individual, darling. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna close out this live stream. I love you guys so much. I'm wishing you guys so much luck for your guys' full moons in Aquarius rituals, darling. This energy I know has been rough for many people, but thankfully after this it's definitely going to be settling back down, so you guys won't have to be stressing about that too much longer, right? Ashley Brewer asked, would this moon be the best time to release or to manifest? I want to use this time to release things, but I see people manifest, so I don't know. So what I would be how I would frame it, Ashley, is I would be using this full moon to, if you're trying to release something, I would look at what facet of your life that it is that you're releasing, right? Whether this is like you releasing in terms of like emotional stuff, maybe you did some shadow work, right, in terms of coming to terms with like family or something like that, then I would use this time to like setting the tone and asking, like doing a ritual for like a more like having like a fulfilling family life, or when it comes to like a blockage with money, right, releasing your blockage with money, same thing. Use the full moon is a sense of like putting a spotlight on something, and coming to terms with it and trying to see it all the way through. So people will use the full moon as like a way of manifesting things, because the full moon is really putting a spotlight on that energy. So really, it's just like the full moon is really just a sense of putting a spotlight on it and then amplifying it, right? So if you're wanting to release things, well, the new moon would definitely be the most optimal for new beginnings. At least that's how people would subscribe to it as. The full moon, just the same, would help get you still accomplish it, but not just in a different way, I would say. It definitely would heavily depend on the crystals that you're using, depending on like how you'd want it to work, right? So if, let me see, did you answer the question? You didn't answer the question. I don't think I asked the question, but yeah. All right, you as well, Dion. You have a good weekend. Mav, Nico Lord, hello, Nico. Yeah, frame releasing as taking in the new. So if you're trying to, yeah, quite literally with anything, rather than focusing on like what already has happened and like what you're trying to fix or release, focus on what it is, like where you want to see yourself like a year from now. If you're searching for more stability in your family life, use this time to really envision this. This is really a good time. Full moons are the perfect time for like using vision, like envisioning yourself in a situation. Cognitive dissonance, right, I believe is the word for it. So again, like even for like money, this is the time where people use visualization for like seeing themselves in that mansion or private jet or whatever. Think about it in that way. But enough of my rambling. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys all have a lovely full moon in Aquarius. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me. And now we get to have this awkward moment of where I'm trying to close out the live stream on my phone, and I have to hit a little button, X button. So I love you guys. Let's see here, darling. Oop, 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 oop. Honey, we struggle it.